to the flag, and I will say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, and next thing we will start off with roll call. Rosemary?
Brian Daub,
Present.
Mike Bishop, David Nutty,
Present.
Jim Barrett.
Here.
Okay, and everyone has the reading of the minutes from the April 6th, 2020 meeting and the March 23rd e-vote. Are there any questions on those? Nope.
Move to accept.
We have a motion?
Second.
Second?
Second.
Let's do roll call, please.
Mike Bishop,
Yes.
David Nutty,
Yes.
Jim Barrett,
Yes.
Brian Daub.
Yes.
Okay. New business, approval of resolution 2020-08. Rosemary, would you like to discuss that, please?
It's transferring $5,000 from clerk treasurer fringe benefit to mayor perf. The past mayor did not have any perf taken out, so it wasn't budgeted correctly. Resolution 2020-09 is moving $52,000 from one line item to another, just because to fix a negative.
That's on both though. That's 2020-08 and 2020-09. You want to take them together?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Any questions on those?
No, sir.
Okay, let's take a roll. I need a motion.
I'm gonna
So
take a
moved.
motion.
And we
Second.
have a second. And a roll call vote, please.
David Nutty,
Yes.
Jim Barrett,
Yes.
Brian Daub,
Yes.
Mike Bishop.
Yes.
Okay, item C. We have approval of contract with Butler Fairman for the Community Crossings Grant. Everyone's got a copy of the contract. It's really a standard contract. There's not much we can do with that since it's for the grant. But we do have to approve it for formality's sake. And you can see the fees that they have at the bottom and all that's part of the grant.
I would
Any
like to
questions?
take the fees out of Riverboat, because if we take it out of our matching funds, that reduces the amount of money we can put in the roads. So I'm asking you to do the match out of Riverboat.
39,120.
Sorry?
The whole 39,120.
Yes.
Vote down.
Do we approve it or do we have to approve advertising for it?
We recommend you got to approve it. We don't have to advertise on that one.
Okay.
Or
Okay.
the council approves that.
Okay. I makes that motion, please.
I'll second.
All
Jim
in
Barrett,
favor?
Yes.
Brian Daub,
Yes.
Mike Bishop,
Yes.
David Nutty,
Yes.
Okay. Item E, approval of the NDOT contract for the community crossings.
no,
I'm sorry.
D is River's Edge.
I did it backwards. Sorry. D, approval of deeds for River Edge. Everyone's got a copy of the deed.
Yes.
Wesling got that taken care of. We just need to approve that deed so they can finish the payment process. Any questions on that?
No.
Deed's pretty straightforward.
I'll make the motion that we accept this deed process to forward. I'll second.
Okay.
And roll call.
Brian Daub,
Yes.
Mike Bishop,
Yes.
David Nutty,
Yes.
Jim Barrett.
Yes.
Okay, item E is another formality. Approval of the NDOT contract for the community crossings program. That's listing all the roads that's getting paved and all the paving process. Any questions on that? Let's take a motion.
Make that motion?
David,
As David and Jim was on the phone.
Jim second.
Yep. Roll call, please.
Mike Bishop,
Yes.
David Nettie,
Yes.
Jim Barrett,
Yes.
Brian Daub.
Yes.
Okay. The department matters, again, we're not having all the department heads in right now. It's pretty difficult. You've all had your reports given to you. You can always, I know several of you have called them. That's good. That's what it's for. But Brad's here because we got some things that we have to deal with. And that's what it's going to be, unless they really have something major we need to deal with. We're just going to do it like this. So Brad, you want to go ahead with your section here?
Yeah. So the first thing I want to talk to you about, all of you but Jim received a late copy of an MOU from the that I worked out with the union to get our water apprentice program implemented. We were kind of in a big hurry because we've got timelines that we have to fall under to get paperwork filled out for the grant. So I sent you that MOU that allows a new position to be created, position of its own. Those wages that are listed there there will be no additional certifications or anything paid on top of those. So that's the total. They'll start out, looks like about $3 and something below, and they'll work their way up each 6-month period. And this also gives us a person that will have to stay in the position for 4 years before they can bid out onto a different job. That's pretty unlikely because the water plant operator is a pretty good job. So,
Brad, I have a question. Did the union agree to that? That he has to stay 4 years?
yes,
Okay.
That's all.
Thank you.
that's all
Thank
part of the MOU. And if you guys approve it, that'll be signed and that'll be made as an addition to the contract.
Thank you.
In the future, will others be added to that?
You mean, would we possibly hire other people under this agreement in the future?
Yes, because you also look at not just treatment certification, but also distribution.
I want to make sure I understand what your question is.
In the future, will you hire additional people under the apprentice program?
Well, the grant money pays for wastewater for sure. I haven't seen distribution listed, but you're probably right. It probably is in there. So I think if there was an opportunity to use this again in the future, we will.
Okay.
Hopefully by that time, this will all be part of the labor agreement and not just memorandum.
So wastewater treatment and drinking water treatment. Okay, that's good.
We sat down with them as soon as Brad caught wind of this money and sat down with the union and just shared with them the opportunity we had, and they both saw it as a win-win. They helped
For
us
sure.
implement it. So that was a good thing with this. It wasn't, this is what we're going to do. We sat down with them and said, let's draft this together, and they worked very well with Brad and they got it done. So it's a good opportunity for everybody.
This is Jim. I
Yes.
think it's a great opportunity. Anytime you have an apprenticeship program, and a training period and then a period that they're going to have to stay on the job, I think that's a great for the utilities. So I would like to make a motion. We accept this, request.
A
Second,
second. David. Roll call. David Nettie,
yes.
Jim Barrett,
Yes.
Brian Daub,
Yes.
Mike Bishop.
Yes.
Okay, Brad, move on to the next one.
Okay, it's on the agenda. I'm fairly sure that this person I'm going to ask you to hire will be hired in the water apprentice, but there is another young man that might also apply for it that's already, that you let me hire last year or earlier in the year. And either one of them would be fine. They both have associate's degrees, both well qualified, almost identical in experience and things. So what I would like to ask you to do is to give me permission to hire Chandler Wise. He won't be hired. The program starts June the 1st, and we won't hire this person until right almost up to June the 1st. I just need to be able to start getting some of the paperwork moving on the apprentice program and the grant money. So I'd like to know who that person is now so we can get that moving.
Need a motion?
So moved.
So moved.
I got a motion and a second. Jim Barrett, roll call vote.
Yes.
Brian Dobb,
Yes.
Mike Bishop,
Yes.
David Nettie.
Yes.
Okay. I sent out some quotes. The mayor and I drove around a little bit last week or two ago and looked at some lawnmowers. And I gave you the quotes. I want you to give me permission to purchase not the cheapest quote, but the best quote. When we went around and looked, the John Deere quote, we're looking for a rear discharge mower. This mower is going to be used at the cemetery and downtown, and I'd like to have a rear discharge. And this cheaper, the one that's a little bit cheaper, the John Deere, is not a rear discharge. So I would like to purchase the Hustler. That is a 52-inch, 27 horse, and that comes from Markers Wally World over in Liberty. And that is a quote of $85.83, and that's a rear discharge mower.
Brad, if I may, you might explain why you're preferring the discharge more like you did to me yesterday, please.
Yeah, well, over at the cemetery, the mowers that we've been using over the years, they throw all the grass on the headstones. So the one good thing over there is it shoots that grass out the back. Also, like when we're mowing down Park Road and things like that, we'd be shooting out the grass out the back instead of towards the road. These mowers ain't perfect for everywhere. You can't go mow weed fields with them or anything, but for grass that we keep pretty manicured, these work really well.
Thank you.
Brad, may I ask? The quote is higher than what number you just stated. So have you worked something out recently?
Well, there were 2 or 3 quotes from Markers. Do you have just, maybe you don't have the right one?
The packet had April 14 on the date, and it was $87.66.40.
I gave her 3 quotes. Is there?
That's a 60-inch. We were looking at a 54, Brad, weren't we?
Okay, yes. The one we wanted, the more narrow deck. The one I'm looking at right now is $85.83, and that's for a 52-inch mower deck, which makes it more narrow and it'll make it nicer in the cemetery.
Okay.
Sitting in between
Yeah.
headstones.
Yeah, this is 60. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the wrong one. We priced both.
So $85.83.20 is the quote that I'm looking at for a 52-inch Hustler from Markers Wally World.
They have those in stock, Brad?
I believe so. I think we were looking at one while we were over there. So
Okay.
Was it a 52? I don't remember. We looked at so many, it's hard to remember.
I'll make a motion, Your Honor, that we allow Brad to go ahead and purchase this mower from Markers Wally World at a cost
Second.
of $8,583.20.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call.
Brian Dobb,
Yes.
Mike Bishop,
Yes.
David Nettie,
Yes.
Jim Barrett.
Yes.
Brad, you doing the trash?
yeah, I was going to give you that trash collection. I brought this up maybe a month ago. It's just a name change on an account. It's a little bit of an oddball because it's a 4-unit apartment and he pays $40 a month for 4 toters. So we change the name on those special agreements when somebody else takes them over.
Any questions?
Motion to approve?
I'll second.
Second.
Roll call.
Mike Bishop,
Yes.
David Nutty,
Yes.
Jim Barrett,
Yes.
Brian Dahl.
Yes.
All righty. Thank you, Brad. Is there any old business?
Now I've got some more stuff for you.
Oh, well, you didn't tell me that.
If anybody, did anybody have any questions about the monthly report we turned in? I know we're not really reporting on them, but ours is a little extensive. The other thing I wanted to tell you about was that we tried for the first time to use Facebook to accumulate a list of potholes. And it seems to have worked pretty well. He sent me, after they went through them this morning, there must have been about 40 or something potholes turned in. The guys are out working on those this morning and will continue to this week. So anybody out there that doesn't have Facebook or would rather just call, you can call 825-1421 to let somebody know over there if you know of a pothole, and we'll get on those. We're getting on those quick as we can. Also, the last thing I was going to tell you about was Rosemary knows we've been talking to our bank extensively with the craziness going on in the stock market right now. Our investments are something that we're keeping a close eye on, making sure that things don't get ahead of us. When the stock market goes up a lot, your bonds will go down, and then vice versa. So we're staying ahead of that. Fifth Third's been working with us very nicely to keep us informed, and I think they've found some good opportunities to invest that will make us some extra money and going forward. I thought I would just let you know while I was talking about it. Last year, how important our investments are. Last year, we took in $188,000 that we made in interest on our investments. So
Great.
you guys know what kind of money that is. That buys a lot of lawnmowers or buys a lot of trucks or something. So I just thought I'd let you know that with Rosemary's help and Cindy and I in particular, we're keeping a close eye on that.
Brad, I have a request, please. I still have residents calling me, questioning me about the recycle and the transfer station. Would you just please go over that again about they're reopened and the times, please?
The present status of recycling is you can drop off at the street department or the transfer station. We're open during regular hours. Let's just say 8 to 3 to make sure the gates are open and they don't get there too late. Same way at the transfer station, they're open during regular hours. You can even take stuff down there on Saturday mornings until about 11:30. Our compost site is open on Wednesdays and Saturdays on all day Wednesday, and then on Saturday from 8 to 11:30. The reason that we're limiting the days is because we want to man that so that when people bring stuff down there, we can kind of look at it first and make sure they're not dumping a bunch of logs or rocks and whatever. And I don't know if anybody's been down there to get compost. You can go down there and pick compost up. And if you have been there, you'll see that our compost looks a lot better this year. They've been cleaning it and trying to keep it clean. And we want to make sure people don't dump stuff that's going to make it all rocky and lots of sticks and all that kind of stuff again. So we're trying to make a better product. So far, I think it's working out.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
That's all I got.
Okay. Good job, Rosemary, Brad, and utilities on the investments, by the way. That's huge.
Yes.
Okay. Any old business? Nope. Miscellaneous business. Anybody have? Yeah, Brian.
I'd just like to reiterate, with all the COVID things going on, all the expenses hitting, I've talked to the department heads, making sure that we just got to watch what we spend. We don't know if we're going to get reimbursements or whatever, but, I just feel that anything unessential, that it's not detrimental to the job that we just hold off. I just wanted
We
to
are.
reiterate that. I know. I just wanted to reiterate it. So
We do have some grant. We've been approved some grants. And tonight at council, you'll see some grants. Jaleesa's going after to help with a lot of the reimbursements. So I don't know if it's going to cover it all, but we're going after some. So, as the only thing you want to be seeing is, we're trying a couple things downtown. I don't know which one we're going to like the best, but we have all the banners made from the high school seniors who are not going to participate in the spring sports. We have all the banners here in the office now. We're trying to hang them downtown. We're trying different things. So you might see them on light poles. You might see them on City Hall, but we plan on honoring all of our senior sports athletes who didn't get to participate. So that will be done this week. They're working on it today. So let's take care of our seniors. So if there's no other miscellaneous business, Rosemary, did you give Mike claims or did you get them?
I got them, Your Honor.
Okay, Mike, go ahead.
Okay, utilities is $188,694.74. The city is $116,104.78. And payroll is $360,973.89.
Thank you, sir. I forgot to ask you before if you got that.
Thank you.
Okay,
Motion.
we need a motion. I was getting there.
I'll
We need
move.
Second,
we have a motion and a second. All in favor, roll call.
David Nutty,
yes.
Jim Barrett,
Yes.
Brian Dobb,
yes,
Mike Bishop,
Yeah.
Okay, take a motion for adjournment if there's nothing else.
So moved.
so moved.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call again.
Jim Barrett,
Yes.
Brian Dobb,
Yes.
Mike Bishop,
Yes.
David Nutty.
Yes.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful day.
You too, Mayor.
Please. God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.